Hey, what is going on, Virgos? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do a general read. Because it's a general read, it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I'm going to pull an Oracle card from the Earth and Bone Oracle. Universe, give us a message for Virgo. Let's get a message for Virgo. Let's get a message for Virgo. Blood Moon. Illusion, uncertainty, and narcissism. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Virgos? What do you have for Virgos? Alright, Virgos. So the first thing, Virgos, I feel like this is an energy you're familiar with. This is someone I feel like you already know. Now with this person, I feel like for some of you, this may be someone you're involved with. For others, it may be someone you were involved with, but that ended. But either way, I feel like this person tried to convince you of something, whether they're trying to come back or they're trying to keep you. I feel like they're doing a lot of work. They're doing a lot of work to convince you of something. Convince you that they've changed or convince you that they can change. And I feel like they're kind of throwing everything in the book at you. And what I mean by that is I feel like this person is coming at you in a lot of different directions. They're trying to hide what's right in front of you. You know, they're trying to convince you that they've changed, or they're trying to convince you that they can change. Also, I feel like they're playing on your, they're pulling on your heartstrings as well, because I feel like they're trying to get you to feel bad for them in some sort of way. Like for some of you, this may be them bringing up some tragic story from their past, or they're trying to get sympathy from you because they're trying to get to that place in you that, that nostalgia. Bringing up past good times, anything they can do. I mean, like I said, they're coming at you like a spider monkey in all different directions here, from all different directions. They're doing whatever they can to keep this going, but it's not consistent. That's one thing I want to make it clear. I mean, they're trying to show you a different side of themselves, while I feel like they go hot and cold on you. I feel like they disappear. And so, I mean, trying to convey that they're reliable, or that they're trying more, trying to do better, then we get the hot and cold energy. I feel like things are getting really toxic between the two of you, because like I said, I mean, I don't feel like you're on the same page. I feel like they're trying to convince you of that, but I feel like your intuition's telling you something completely different. Trust your intuition, Virgo. We have the High Priestess. I mean, we have the Tower card, and like I said, I mean, we'll pull these back out again. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse, not being on the same page. That Tower card, I feel like that causes a lot of back and forth between the two of you. That causes a lot of drama, causes a lot of chaotic energy. But like I said, this person's doing a lot of work to convince you of something that isn't real. I mean, this person needs you, but I feel like emotionally this person's already walked away. So they have ill intent of why they want to keep you, or why they want to keep this going, or to repair it, like they like to call it. I don't feel like this person is showing up for you at all with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like this person is keeping secrets. With the Seven of Swords, I feel like this person has a hidden agenda. And that's why they're hot and cold, because they can't be consistent. They're trying to prove that they can be reliable, but they're not. I don't see reconciliation in there. I don't feel like the reconciliation that they may be asking for, or they're trying to fix this relationship, like I said, I don't feel like that's from a good place. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Again, they're not giving anything to this. They're just taking. Now, for some of you, this person may want to be with you because they can't do it on their own. We got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Not being able to survive on their own. They need you. Like that's why they're shutting you out, because they don't have anything to tell you that you want to hear. Acting all like they're offended and just a lot of narcissistic energy. Like I feel like this person's here for them, for their own benefit. Like I said, it may be because they can't survive on their own. For others, I mean, there's this player energy as well. I mean, we have the Devil, that Capricorn energy. We got this player energy with the Knight of Wands in reverse. They're playing games. Like I said, they need something from you. It's not something that you would openly give them if you knew that's all they wanted. That's a message that I'm getting really clearly. Like I said, I feel like this person's playing games. And with that Devil card, I mean, I feel like for some of you, this may be more of a, how do I say this? More of a, they enjoy your goodies. For some of you, this is more of a physical thing they want from you. But I don't feel like them showing up for you. I don't feel like them putting in the work. And I feel like when they don't get what they want, that's when they break communication. But they always keep coming back. Like it's never a one and done. It's never they're never really gone. They always keep coming back. But I don't see an alignment between the two of you. I don't see you aligning with that Page of Wands or Page of Pentacles in reverse. Again, Eight of Wands. I'm getting really bad at not calling out these cards a little bit better. I'm sorry. I mean, the Eight of Wands in reverse. And like I said, the Page of Pentacles in reverse. But they don't want you to see what's right in front of you. We have the Death card. They're not changing. They're just changing their approach. They're changing what you see. Like I said, they want something from you, and they don't want to give that up. But they're not investing anything in this either. They're not trying to build a future with you. No matter how much they try to convince you of that, I don't see that being genuine whatsoever. I mean, everything in this read is telling me the opposite of that. That old saying, actions speak louder than words. I mean, I feel like your intuition, and we're going back to this again, your intuition is causing this internal struggle, this Five of Wands energy within you, because you know, I feel like you know. And sometimes when we're with someone that we have a history with, like I said, this person bringing up nostalgia, this person bringing up, things to make you, not only nostalgia, but things to make you feel sorry for them. And they're tapping into your good nature. I mean, I feel like because you have history with this person, they know you. One thing with people that know us is they have almost like a way of manipulating us. It's almost like they have an owner's manual. So they know better how to manipulate us and how to use things against us, and they know our weak spots, so they use them. And that's the biggest fear when you meet somebody, is that you're gonna get to know them. You're gonna form this bond with them, and all of a sudden they're gonna manipulate that. The right ones won't do that. The right ones won't manipulate you. The right ones know what not to do, and they just don't do it. This person is using every tactic. Like I said, I feel like he's coming at you. I don't know why I said he. Very masculine energy doesn't necessarily mean a he. Maybe someone needed to hear that. I usually don't slip up, so I'm going to take it as a sign. But this person is intentionally doing this. They're intentionally using anything they can to hold on to you. Like I said, whether it's a monetary thing, they need you. There's something that you provide them that they can't provide themselves, or they won't provide themselves. For others, it may be more of a physical thing. Like they're keeping you on the line. Now, the Eight of Cups, I'm going to go back to this for a second because I want to be clear. Eight of Cups is emotionally walking away. I feel like this person has emotionally walked away. So I feel like at one point there may have been some emotional attachment that this person had to you, and I feel like that may be authentic, but I don't feel like I said, I don't see a huge transformation. I mean, we had the Death card, the Scorpio energy in reverse. For some of you, I mean, this is definitely a karmic relationship, and it's going on. And for others, there's some toxicity. Like I said, there's some narcissistic energy here, but narcissists don't usually love anybody else. So, I mean, I feel like there was a time this person cared about you. Or at least believed that they did, because the Eight of Cups is them walking away emotionally. So in order to do that, you had to have some emotional tie. So, I mean, like I said, and I feel like this person's going to play that. They're going to play that card as much as they can. But I feel like there's definitely a player energy, like I said, with that Knight of Wands in reverse. They're playing games. But, again, we're going back to this. This is not going to resonate for everybody. But like I said, those it resonates with, I feel like you already know what I'm saying. I feel like you may not want to hear it. But that's the thing with your intuition. And I try to live up to that myself. Like, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and tell you that it's rainbows and butterflies all the time. I love getting good reads. But there's sometimes it's just... But it's always a good message. I feel like the sooner you know things, the sooner you can move on. The sooner you can... it's all about perspective. I don't really feel like there's any really bad reads. Sometimes the message isn't as great as I want it to be, and I can't sugarcoat that. And like I said, I try to be that. That's how I try to base myself in life and in tarot. Is I tell you things that I feel like you need to hear. They're not always going to be things you want to hear, and your intuition is the same way. It's not always going to tell you what you want to hear. It's always going to tell you what you need to hear. But like I said, with this person, I don't see you finding, building a foundation with this person. I just feel like there's so many red flags here. And one of the biggest things that I want to say is, I mean, we got to remember not to collect red flags. Sometimes we fall for someone and they, as they grow, they evolve into somebody else. We can't hold on to who they were. We got to, we're investing in who they are and who they're going to be. Because we're investing in the future. We can't live in the past. With this person, I mean, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. We have some Sagittarius. We have Gemini, Aquarius. Cancer and Scorpio. And some Pisces as well. Like I said, I mean, we get to a point, like, I mean, I've been there, though. Everything I talk about, I talk about from my own experience. I don't just talk about things like I don't know nothing about them. One of the biggest reasons I got into tarot is because I love love. Unapologetically, I love love. I'm a unapologetic romantic. I want everybody to find love. I want everybody to find that one. And sometimes I'm the good voice and sometimes I'm the bad voice. Sometimes I'm the voice you don't want to hear. But I'm always going to tell you things the way it comes to me. Sometimes, like I said, I mean, I've been there. I've been in relationships where I was my second longest relationship. My longest is always with Rose. We've been together 16 years. But my relationship before that, my longest relationship before that was almost 4 years. And the first year was good. We had a good connection. The last 3 years was me holding on to the first year. She completely switched up. And I kept waiting and hoping that we get back to where we were and that old person would come back. But then I realized, one day I just woke up and realized, I mean, the mask fell off. It wasn't like she put a mask on after a year and this is a fake version of her. This is the real version. And she was she was a Capricorn, which she was like the toxic trait Capricorn. I mean, she was all about her and what benefited her. And it's, like I said, she was very good at manipulating. She was very good at, blaming me, getting me to think that I was the problem. She was good at bringing up old memories to kind of get some nostalgia going. So it's very familiar to this read. But I've been there, and I wish someone would have came up to me and sat me down and just said, listen, man, like, you were with this girl for a year. Things were good. It wasn't ever great, but things were good. We had a good connection. We had a good friendship. And at the end of the day, I feel like that's where it should have ended at. It should have, like, a friendship maybe, but I should never been in any kind of romantic relationship. We should never have moved in together. But I learned. You learn. Every relationship you learn something from, and if you're not learning something from it, you're not getting the full value of it. Even the worst relationship you could possibly have been in, there's something to learn from it. I got hiccups now. But like I said, I'm just trying to be, when I give the advice at the end, like, not advice, or I tell my stories at the end, that's me trying to be that voice of reason. It almost feels like with her, it almost felt like she put some kind of spell over me. Like, I'm usually not a sucker. I'm not usually one that falls for bullshit, but somehow she convinced me I was the crazy one, and I was doing things wrong, and I was the one that had to change, and I was the one that, this, that, and the other thing. And it was just, I realized there was something in her. There was something in her that she couldn't fill. You know, there's something, issues that she was having that she was trying to put outwards to other people. And I seen her do it to other people, which should have been a red flag. Like, I seen her manipulate other people in her family, like her sister and her mother and, you know, her father. And it was just, hindsight, when I look back, I'm like, I don't know how I fell for it, how I didn't see it. But I learned. Anyway, that was my story, and I'm sticking to it. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.